Hey, I've got the new Kreg 720 Pro pocket hole jig, and I'm going to share with you the pros and the cons, and some of them may surprise you, so stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Woodworking Garage. The new Kreg 720 Pro pocket hole jig went on sale just today. I went out and grabbed me one, and here's what I found. First, let me share, Kreg does not sponsor this video. I have no agreements with the Kreg Tool Company. I purchased this jig with my own money so that I can give you an unbiased review of the pros and the cons. I'm here to share with you an honest opinion on the new Kreg 720 Pro. So the purpose of this video is not to go over every feature. You've probably already seen that in the promotional video that Kreg released last week and some of the other videos. I am a fan of Kreg tools, and I've been using the K4 system for quite a while and had been recently considering upgrading to the K5. Now, I was excited to learn a couple of weeks ago that Kreg was coming out with some new jigs. So I decided to wait to see what they had. I will tell you, I am excited about the new 720 Pro. It's got a lot of great features for someone who is coming from the K4 system. I really like this Automax system, which is self-adjusting. When you put your workpiece in here, it doesn't matter what thickness it is, and it self-adjusts. I just love that. It's nice and smooth to operate. It's a great feature compared to the K4, where you had the little twisty knob in the back that you had to spin in order to get your adjustment just right. This is great. Another thing that I really like about the 720 is for sheet goods, how you can flip it around and you can slide your sheet goods in from this direction, and you can still clamp it down and put pocket holes in it. Unlike the K4 and the K5, where you had to stand your plywood up and then clamp it down in order to drill your pocket holes. So I really like that feature about the 720. With the launch of the new product, they have a new drill bit, and on this drill bit it is etched where the mark is for a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1.5 inch products, so it makes it easy to adjust your stop collar. They give you this handy little tool that you can easily adjust the stop collar back and forth, and it's got a little sight window here, so you can place it exactly where you need it. For me, that would be a 1.5 inches, and I can tighten it down. Nice and simple and easy, and I really like that feature. I do like the idea of the storage compartments and how they can connect to the main jig and then fold up like you've seen in the promotional video. However, there are some things I don't like about it, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. So look, there is plenty to like about this new 720, especially if you're like me and you're upgrading from the K4 system. But setting all those great features and height aside, there are some cons that you need to know about before you go out and purchase one. Okay, I want to show you this adjustment knob right here for a moment. This is what you adjust after you put your material into the device. With this knob, you can adjust how much pressure it takes in order to clamp down on your material piece. Okay? Okay, so in the instructions it says, and I'm reading it, that you rotate the clamp pressure adjustment knob one click in the desired direction, clockwise, to decrease the pressure. So clockwise. Now there's no arrows here, but to me, looking at this shows that if I need to decrease the pressure, I'm going to have to turn it this direction, which is counterclockwise. All right, so here's something that I don't like at all, and I'll start with showing you on my K4. When I get ready to use my K4, I pull it out, I set it on my workbench, and I like using this small 6-inch Kreg clamp, the self-adjusting clamp, because I can stick it on there, clamp it down, and it's ready to go. Okay? It's a nice little feature. I love that feature. On the 720, you don't have an option to clamp this down anywhere, because they had to make it this aerodynamic design, which I don't understand because we're not driving it down the road. But you know, you can't clamp it anywhere. You can't get this face clamp. It doesn't fit in here in this little hole. So you have to use Kreg's proprietary clamp, which is conveniently located right here in the side wing. You see what's going on here, right? Now you slide it in there. Hold on. I guess I didn't have to go down quite so far on that one, but you know, I didn't know. Hold on, we're not there yet. Great. Now I can tighten down on this. And even at that, it still wiggles a little bit, but there. It's pretty stable. That's a fail. You know, Kreg came out with this revolutionary self-adjusting face clamps, and I love them. I absolutely love them. And I love being able to grab it with my K4, you know, and just sticking it right there, locking it down, and I'm golden. But now we have the twisty. But now we have the twisty we have to deal with. And there's no option to use a different style clamp. You know, that doesn't fit. There's no place to put it. So for me, this is a huge fail. This is a con on the new Kreg 720. Tell me what you think. Is this a deal breaker? I mean, this is a pretty big deal for me because this is made to be mobile. I didn't plan on mounting it to a board. Now I'm going to have to mount it to a board like some people do. Then I got to find some place to put the entire, you know, the entire jig, which is going to be much bigger. I like the idea of folding this up, and it's compact. But clearly for my use, I'm going to have to mount this to a board that's going to give me a clamp location so I can clamp it down to my work surface in order to keep everything stable. So tell me what you think in the comments. Is this a fail? Am I just overreacting on that one? Let me know. All right, so in my attempt to assemble the material support wings to the main Kreg jig, one thing that I noticed is they come with these little hinge adapters that you have to snap on to the end of the wing in order to attach it to the jig. And these things appear to be just little plastic hinges. They're kind of small, and I'm just not so sure how well that'll hold up over time, but you know, they snap together quickly, and we'll just have to see. Also, if you notice that this part here is where it attaches to the main jig, and it looks like a little Lego block, so it's got those two little knobs on there. And if you look on the jig itself, you have those two little holes right down in here in order to snap it into place. And I think you're supposed to be able to slide it to lock it in place so it doesn't easily come off, but I'm having trouble doing it. I got this one in place, and I think it's slid together and it's attached. And I'm going to attempt to go ahead and do this one. Alright, so we're just going to put this down, and it just pops into the hole, which is fine if you're going to mount it or leave it sitting on your bench or whatever, but you pick the jig up and start moving it, and you have a few things in the compartment here. I'm just concerned that this thing's just going to pop right off. So you got to make sure you wiggle it and slide it into that keyhole slot. See there, and it didn't go. So it's not the best design. Yeah, see, this side's locked in there. This side's got a bigger gap. It's clearly not locked in there. And it's pushed down all the way into those holes, so we know it's there. We just got to slide it, but I don't want to put too much torque on these plastic hinges here, so it's, I don't know, maybe I should have installed this piece first before I installed it on here, but then it's going to prevent you from easily taking it on and off. So this is a fail. This is certainly a con with this whole design. There it comes off again. Certainly not the best design that Kreg could have came up with. So I don't know. I may have to get a screwdriver on this side and just try to put some pressure on it. We'll try. You know, it's a brand new tool, and you shouldn't have to be monkeying with it in this fashion. There we go. So there's the trick, guys. There you go. When you get ready to install these things, just make sure it's pushed down into the hole all the way. Slide your screwdriver in there, and it allows you to put some pressure on it. That one wasn't even locked into place all the way either. So now we've got them both locked into place. They're there, and because of that keyhole slot, I'm confident that they're not going to fall apart now or come loose. Okay, now that we've got our wings attached, I can see, you know, that take off the dust collection. The instructions does say that. Maybe I need to read the instructions to figure out how that comes off. That removes that. There we go. Okay, one thing to point out here is that once you have these bat wings attached, they do fold up nicely, just like the promotional video shows, and you know, certainly a nice little feature. Again, concerned about how flimsy these little plastic hinges are. You can see if you wiggle it just a little bit, you know, there's pressure there, and I don't know how well that's going to work. My concern is, you know, you pick this up to move it around. Well, you can't move it like this. You need to fold it up because that's too much pressure on these hinges. And then if you bump something, they're going to snap right off. So keep that in mind also. You're going to want to transport it, you're going to want to fold it up to move it around in your shop. So just a little tip there. Okay, one of the great features about the new Kreg 720 Pro is its ability to put pocket holes in sheet goods, okay? With a K4 and a K5 jigs, you would have to take your sheet goods, your plywood, and you'd have to stand it up in the jig and then clamp down on it to hold it in place. With the K4, of course, if you remember, the clamp was in the back, it was hard to reach. They improved that with the K5, and the clamp is on the front, so you can get your sheet goods in there now easily and drill your pocket holes. With the 720, you can still do that in this configuration. But if you'd like to spin it around, like you've seen in the promotional video, makes it a little bit easier. However, you have the wings to deal with. And you kind of saw what we went through in order to take these wings off. So not as easy and simple as a promotional video shows. Remember, we got to deal with the fact that we can't put much pressure on this right here. But now we got to try to unlock the little Lego knobs from the keyhole slots, and we're probably just going to be best to go in reverse action here and use a screwdriver to go ahead and loosen those up. That's always going to be your safest option to preserve these little hinges so you don't break them off. So, you know, so not a terribly difficult thing to do, just not as convenient as what the promotional video makes it look like. But now we can spin this around. Certainly, you know, we can slide our sheet goods in this way, and we can go ahead and clamp it down and put our pocket holes in it. I really like this feature. I don't use sheet goods a lot, but when I do, I'm going to enjoy this, not having to monkey with and stand up a large piece of plywood on its edge like you did with the K4 and the K5. The fact that you can spin this around and use it this way is a huge pro for me. I really like that feature. Just wished it was a little easier to take the wings on and off. Okay, another little feature I would like to have seen, again, not a deal breaker by any means, but on the back right here you have this rubber strip. It helps you grip your wood when you're clamping down on it so it doesn't slip around. It sure would be nice if they had put something on the bottom side of the jig to keep it from sliding around on your work surface. As I move away my drop cloth, and you can see my stained work surface, you can see how easy it's going to slide around, you know, on your tabletop. Hence the need to clamp it down. But oh yeah, you know, we can't clamp it down too quickly. We got to get the old twisty out and use that in order to clamp it down. So it would have been a nice feature, not a fail by any means, but it would have been a nice feature had they put some little grippy pads on the bottom. And you know, I'll probably look at doing something like that. There's places here where we might be able to do something in order to put little feet on here to let it grip the table. So maybe you don't even need the little twisty clamp or this clamp. There's one other thing that I'm trying to confirm with Kreg Tool Company. I've got to call into them I'm waiting for a call back. I heard on another video that the new 720 Pro system was made in China. My K4 is clearly marked made in the USA. And I looked at a box this morning of the K5 system, and I'll throw a picture up right here. On the box it has a stamp that indicates it was made in the USA, or at least that's what it looks like. On the box for the 720, there is nothing on the box anywhere that I can find that indicates it was made in the USA. I looked on the unit and all the parts, looking to see if it's stamped anywhere, to see if it was made in the USA. I'm not seeing that stamp anywhere either, but I haven't been able to confirm that yet. Hey, if you're getting some value out of this video and the things that I'm sharing with you, will you please help me out and give me a thumbs up? For every person that gives me a thumbs up, YouTube shows this video to someone else, and that's how this channel grows. Okay, so you've seen some of the pros and some of the cons. Now the question is it better than the K5? Is it something you should go out and buy? The K5 system, although it's different, it has pretty much the same features. If you're like me and you have the K4 system, it's something you should take a hard look at if it's within your budget. If your budget allows you to go out and buy the 720 Pro, I highly recommend it. However, if your budget is stretched and you're on the K4 system, I would suggest maybe jumping into the K5, which has almost the same features and it's now been discounted, so it's at a better price point. If you already have the K5 and it's within your budget, sure, go out and buy the 720. It's got some great conveniences and you're going to enjoy them. But if it's going to stretch your budget, stick with the K5. If you don't have a pocket jig at all, and you're looking to buy your first pocket hole jig, I'll first say that the K4 system is probably going to be discontinued. And if you're going to be working with sheet goods, you're not going to want the K4, simply because the locking mechanism is on the back side of the jig. And so when you've got your sheet goods here in front of you to drill your pocket holes in, you have to lock and unlock on the back side, and if it's a large sheet of plywood, you won't be able to reach it. So it's kind of a poor design. But if your budget is stretched thin as a new woodworker, the K5 system is going to work very, very well for you. But if it's within budget, jump right to the 720 because it's got great features. It's very convenient. Overall, I'm very happy with the purchase of the 720 Pro. I do have a few concerns as I've addressed in this video, but I can work around those. If you're interested in checking the prices or even making a purchase of one of these Kreg jigs today, I do have affiliate links listed below in the description where you can go check those out on Amazon.com. And before you go, I just uploaded another video talking about the Kreg 520 Pro, and I'm going to stick that right up here. I also have another video that may be of interest to you, and I'm going to stick it down right over here. Be sure to check those out. Hey, if you like what I've shared with you today and you found value in it, please, again, give me that thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to this channel because I've got more videos lined up that's going to be coming out very, very soon. It's going to help you as a woodworker.